Am I the a-hole for refusing to sell the place I bought with stripper money? For several years I was a stripper. I have no shame about what I did and only quit when I got a better job offer. In the time I worked as a stripper, I intentionally lived as cheaply as possible. Shitty little studio flat, living off ramen, wearing old clothes. Because my coworkers all told me that they were able to buy their own places on their income. So long as they saved like crazy. Before I retired, I managed to outright buy myself a 3-bedroom flat. I rented out the other rooms for a while, but I got sick of having roommates. So now I have them up online for shorter stays, but not to rent. I met this guy about 18 months ago, and we've been together since. He knows about my employment history, and he said that he has no issue with it. Though he did ask me to tell his family the white lie I occasionally use on my CV and stuff, which is that I was a waitress. Which I kind of was, to be fair. A month ago, we found out that I'm 2 months pregnant. He says this is great news and we should move in together. I assumed he'd be moving into my place because he rents his far smaller 1-bedroom flat while I own mine. And I have room for a baby's room, well he doesn't. Also, I really don't want to leave my flat. It's my flat, I love it, I could see myself living here for the rest of my life. And I don't want to lose the security of owning a flat. And have to go back to paying rent or a mortgage each month. However, he then said that he didn't want to move into my place. And said I should sell it and we buy a place together. I said that I like my place, it means a lot to me that I was able to buy it. And it represents years of working my butt off, scrimping and saving. He then said that he understands all of that, but we should be living together by the time the baby comes, and he didn't want to live in my flat. I asked him why not. It's a great flat, it's central to everything. It's spacious, it's got room for all his stuff, there's a daycare in the building, run/owned by another tenant, and a school 5-minute walk away. The list goes on, and he said that he didn't want to live in a flat that was bought with stripper money. That really pissed me off. And I told him no freaking way am I selling my flat and that he never had an issue with my stripper money paying for this flat before now. I said I wasn't giving up the security of owning a home for someone who tries to make me feel ashamed about something I don't feel ashamed of. He said that his point is, if I sold the flat, then we could get a new place with the money from the sale. I said, wouldn't that still be stripper money? And he said, that's different, and I asked how. He then said he was going back to his place because I can't talk to you when you're in this state. He's gone back to his flat now. And he's texted me saying I'm overreacting/irrational and I need to think of this realistically rather than emotionally. He says he wouldn't feel right raising a child in my flat, knowing how I purchased it. And moving is the best idea of all of us. Not to mention the fact he isn't on the deed because it's my place and it would never feel like our place because of this. I feel I might be the arse because I get why he might feel like it's just my place. And I feel I'm being too rigid in a time we need to work together. Plus I spoke to my sister and she sided with him. So 2 out of 3 people think I'm in the wrong here. Am I the a-hole? Update. Now for the update because a lot of people asked for one. First off, I dumped him. He initially said that he doesn't want to be a parent if we're not a couple. But earlier this week he told me he wants majority custody. So not only does he not have to pay child support, but if he gets majority, then I end up paying him. He actually said that was his reasoning. Also, at the start of the conversation, I said what a few people suggested, which was that I'd be willing to sell and split the house with him, provided he paid 50%. And he got very angry, very quickly. He also said a few other things. He also runs his own startup. And admitted the startup is basically done for. And he was hoping that when I sold my place, I could also put a cash injection into his business with the money. So basically this was all about money for him. And I have extensive documentation of all of this. There's going to be a legal case, but I've gotten legal advice and it looks like I'll be able to get sole custody, which is what I intend to go for. In the last couple weeks, my sister has doubled down and is trying to get me to fix things with my ex. Because a baby should have a complete family. So I've not been involving her in my pregnancy, which she is furious about. She also told our parents, which I am furious about, so we're not speaking right now. I also want to say thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. When I first posted, between my boyfriend and my sister, I was genuinely convinced I was in the wrong. So to have such an overwhelmingly supportive response really helped me realize that I shouldn't doubt myself so much. And with that realization, plus everything going on right now, I've decided to go to therapy, which I will be starting next week. All in all, the outcome of this is probably going to be me being a single mother in the flat I own. And honestly, pretty decent outcome.